It is a wild day already, guys. I woke up this morning. Oh, wrong one. Alright. Welcome in, gamers. I'm Retro Timed, and I'm Nosaj Ttimmed. Well, this is Retro Timed. I am Nosaj Ttimmed. I'm Retro Timed and Nosaj Ttimmed, but, um, it's been a wild morning already for me. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's a lot of wild stuff so far. Oh. My. Alright. Alright, so before I get started, I need to pull up anything about the news going on in gaming. Alright, so alright, so let's see. This is the wrong thing. I keep opening the wrong screen. So I've come to a conclusion I can't have copyright music on a channel, even with what I had, even though it said no royalties. They YouTube still saw it as a as copyright. So I still got struck for those like that music that was on my channel for a few days. I got struck for it. So not gonna be able to do that for a while. That was just kind of stupid if you ask me. But it is what it is. Um, YouTube has a weird way of like doing things, unfortunately. So I want to check one more thing. I hate not being fully awake yet in the morning. And what the heck was I trying to do? That's what I was trying to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you go over to my second YouTube channel, which is growing very fast, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. Um, Basically, it's growing really fast right now, and it's once I reach 300 over there, I will not be like streaming gaming news every single morning over here now. Um, I'm gonna this channel's gonna be more or less like I don't want to say it. This channel's gonna be it's my second channel. So it's gonna be just like I'm gonna upload stuff to it, just not as often then, because the other channel just blew up, and it's grown to the point where I'm almost at the point where I said once I reach 300 over there, I'm gonna like turn to that channel and start like actually doing morning stuff over there. So that might be yeah, that might be the only the only place I end up doing things on a daily basis then, because there's no way I'm going to be able to do both here and that channel at the same time. So, but yeah, things are about to change here soon. I just need like it's gonna be a little bit yet, but um, they're gonna it's gonna change very soon now. So look for that. And if you haven't followed the second channel, please do so. If you're not even into the Bible or whatever, you don't need to listen to shorts, but you can follow the other channel. So, um, let's just get into this. What is it? What? GTA has won an award 2 years before it released. Ah, interesting. Wonder what the award is or what for. All right. Grand Theft Auto 6 doesn't release until 2025 at earliest. Yet it's already managed to win an award. Rockstar finally announced Grand Theft Auto 6 in early February 2022 with a brief statement confirming that the game was in development. Well over a year later, the first Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer hit the internet, and the gaming world has been buzzing ever since. The Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer has broken records, racking up over 165 million views and counting. Needless to say, GTA 6 trailer has franchises fans incredibly hyped for the upcoming open world game. Fans have been waiting for a decade for Grand Theft Auto 6, and it's no surprise that many have the game at the very top of the list of most anticipated titles. This was confirmed by recent PlayStation blog Game of the Year awards, which uses fan polling to hand out awards to various games. One of these awards categories is most anticipated game of 2024 and beyond. Both fourth place went to Dragon's Dogma 2, while Marvel's Wolverine managed to snag the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth uh, was up for runner up. But Grand Theft Auto 6 took home top prize in the world. In other words, Grand Theft Auto 6 won an award 2 years before its launch. It's with it's with only one trailer out. Grand Theft Auto 6 may only have one trailer so far, but it has clearly done a great job of getting fans hyped for the game. Well, brief, the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer is packed with information, the and interesting details, most notably confirmed the game's Vice City setting and female protagonist Lucia. Fans have been tearing apart the and analyzing the GTA 6 trailer since it dropped, and hopefully it's enough to tide them over until the next trailer is ready. Based on how Rockstar has promoted its previous game, the most likely scenario is that the next Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer won't be out until later of late 2024. Of course, it's entirely possible that Rockstar will break from its established patterns and release a new GTA 6 trailer. Before then, fans shouldn't hold their breath. Whenever the next GTA 6 trailer drops, it will be interesting to see what new details it has in store and if it reveals the game's specifics release. The finals is already a huge hit on Xbox. I wonder what this is. The finals is a new first-person shooter. A new first-person shooter has surpassed some of the biggest names on Xbox in the United Kingdom and the United States. This remarkable achievement comes just weeks after Finals surprise release announced during the Game Awards, making a significant milestone for Embark Studios, the former developers of Battlefield. The Finals debuted to big numbers and began rapidly carving out a name for itself in the first-person shooter genre, setting a new standard in competitive shooters. The Final innovates with a multi-team setup enhanced by animation, crowds, and commentators. This unique approach energizes firefights, adding a fresh twist to Battlefield DNA. Even as it navigates some AI voice work critiques, the finals has clinched the coveted top free game post on Xbox, surprising current giants like Call of Duty, Warzone, Fortnite, and garnering favorable views from critics. This acclaim highlights the game's masterful mix of innovation and familiarity that appeals to both seasoned first person shooter veterans and newcomers, effectively bridging the gap between innovation and tradition has helped the finals race to the top of the charts and redefine what players expect from a top tier free game on a major platform like Xbox. Top five free games on Xbox. So, all right. The finals game mode, like quick cash, combines strategy and chaos as team battles for cash-filled vaults, with comprehensive destruction adds to the finals excitement. The standout features Let's Play demolish almost any element in the environment, from walls to entire buildings, using an array of gadgets and abilities to navigate and alter the battlefield. For veteran players, the game offers enough new challenges and gameplay twists to rekindle their interest in the genre. While new players find the game approachable due to its intuitive incorporation of classic first-person shooter elements, at its core, the final's ability to stand out with a fast-paced gunplay showcase a promising direction for a future multiplayer shooter. However, the final's rise to the top hasn't been without challenges, like movement speed reported to be slow, sluggish, and unresponsive, underscoring the need for balancing speed and maneuverability with the game's strategic depth. Addressing these concerns goes beyond simply tweaking the game's mechanics to enhancing the overall power experience in terms of competitiveness and enjoyability. Hold on, I forgot to do something. I gotta like in a little bit, and I totally always forget to put two screens up for my chats just in case. Right, so let's see here. All right, now A slew of new combat-centered content is updated to the finals. Settings will heighten engagement and excitement within the gaming community. The finals embark on its inaugural season. I'm surprised I can pronounce that because I'm usually very horrible at pronouncing words, especially like that. This is a game that has built its identity around fast-paced strategic combat, and the new updates are expected to deepen this aspect. The developers' commitment to continuous improvements in responsiveness to community feedback could help the finals evolve from a promising newcomer to a blaze trail in the world of first-person shooters. All right. Oh, so they're taking it back. Okay. So this is good news. All right. PlayStation users will not lose access to Discovery shows after all. Stop with these ads. I know I don't have the ad blocker up, but ad popper up, but it's annoying sometimes. Sony will not be removing access to Discovery TV shows on PlayStation after all. At the beginning of December, many users became very upset when it was announced that numerous Discovery TV shows will be removed from PlayStation. At the end of the month, additionally purchased shows will be wiped from the user's library, and the list of affected programs had over 1,300 items. This announcement sparked outrage not only because it came with a short notice, but it also reinforced the underlying fear of many people who purchase digital content. The move away from the physical games and movies is potentially a big gamble for consumers because digital items are really owned aren't really owned, and access can be removed at any time with little warning, and the fine print often means the buyer have little recourse to recover money spent or regain access to their purchases. Luckily, the imminent removal of dozens of Discovery TV shows from PlayStation has been halted, and users will no longer lose access on December 31st. Sony amended the original announcement to state that it has updated license arrangement with Warner Brothers, which owns Discovery, and content removal will no longer take place. However, the new agreement only guarantees access to purchased content for the next 30 months, after which Sony will hopefully again renegotiate licensing for the shows. Game Industry Biz shared a longer statement from Sony on the matter. Alright. Alright, so here's one of the statements. Similar to other services, we do not own the licensing rights to TV and movie content that was previously available for purchase on PlayStation stores. However, we've worked with Warner Brothers to update our licensing agreement to ensuring that customers will be able to access previously purchased content for at least the next 30 months. Alright, so that was the statement they made earlier. Why can't I scroll down any further? Let me reload this. Alright, there we go. Some people may not even remember that it was once possible to purchase movies and TV shows from the PlayStation Store. That practice was halted in 2021 when Sony opted to offer subscriptions to streaming services. Instead, the logic behind the move was twofold. It eliminates worries about licensing, and in recent years, people tend to subscribe more than buy. This is not the first time. Damn it. What is this? Like, why can I, like. Okay, so my mouse is acting up. Alright. This is not the first time PlayStation has lost a lot or have been at risk of losing access to TV shows they've purchased. All studio channel content was removed in August 2022 due to expiring licensing agreements, which, much like what would have happened with Discovery content. There have been other recent reminders about the potential pitfall of consumers going fully digital, though they received refund. Subscribers lost access to entire library games when Google Stadia shut down in January, and even if they were able to repurchase those games on other platforms, and some developers offered a way to transfer saves money, many people lost hours, weeks, or months of progress and characters they had likely grown attached to, even though as simple as a PlayStation or Xbox network outage means temporary loss of access to purchased games, and with some titles going online, only even physical versions can only become playable. So I mean, from the sounds of this, I mean, they're still they're still taking it away. What are they talking about? So yeah, they're still taking it away. Okay, so I thought this was a good thing. I thought they reversed what they said, but they're still taking it away. They're like, well, you can watch these for up to 30 months. Like the thing about TV shows is this. Okay, I'm not a person who goes and watches like television. I don't go and watch TV shows or anything like that. And it's kind of one of those things that's like it's there. Like a movie, like people will tell me how great a movie is, and I won't bother to go watch it because of the fact that like it's a movie, not something exciting to me because I don't really, I'm not the type of person who just like hops onto things when I like people uh tell me when they're what to hop onto because like there's a lot of people that tell me to watch. Like, people don't really tell me to watch movies because they know that movies just don't strike my interest. Now, if you tell me you should play that game, I wish we hear more of that in this world. Like, I wish we hear more people say, well, you should play that game. Um, that's kind of what I want to hear more of instead of you should watch that movie, or you should watch that show. We don't hear enough of you should play that video game because it has a good story to it, or you should play that video game because that game was really good. We don't hear much of that today, and that's something I'd like to hear. You know, um, I used to have friends that talked all the time about, what games they played. And there was this friend a long time ago in school, he would always talk about some random games. And he was telling me about a game one time where you're on a set of stairs and you push the guy down the stairs. And I don't know what game it was, but like, that's the kind of stuff that, like, not talking about pushing people downstairs, but like, talking about like what game I should play. Like, he I used to have friends like that, and I no longer have friends like that. Like all the people that play games I used to know, they're part of the. We're all older now, and we like. It's just when like the video game community is like very very. It's weird because now the video game community is not as big as it used to be, and that's why I try to get people on board with playing games sometimes because like we don't the video game community isn't as big as it used to be. It's it's booming right now, but it's not as big as it used to be. It's a very very so I want to say video gaming right now is like back in the I want to say the late 90s into the early 2000s. It's like that post like punk like underground scene. It's very underground. And I just don't know what to think about it sometimes. Like nobody's really out there and nobody's really talking about, playing, playing games so much anymore. And it's kind of weird that we don't hear about it so much anymore, especially because, it's not. All right. So it's the video game scene or community is not what it was at one point. It's a very, very different place right now. And I will even say that when I grew up and all the video game community was as big as it was back then, it's a lot different than it was. And it's just very, very strange how different it is right now compared to what it was like early 2000s is what I want to say. I remember back in 2010 when I just got out of high school and the whole video game community was like, it was just huge. Like G4 was still on TV. It didn't go down yet. Um, I remember after school, I'd go home and like I'd watch G4 for what is that show with Adam Sessler and Morgan West? Oh, I used to watch that show. And then I used to watch that show with them. Um, things times changed, and you can really tell your age when you look back and you're like, I still remember G4 being on TV. Yeah, before G4 became like this dumpster fire. Now, my plan for the future, because I don't know if video games gonna thrive for me because this is a place I'm like very unsure about. But I like the video game industry. Talk a lot about it, you know. And one of the things for me is like if I was to create a video game network, do I think it would work better? I probably do because I'm a very different person. I mean that in a way like where I'm not like a lot of what was going on in gaming recently is a lot of political stuff. I would not put political people into video gaming. I would find a group of people. Like it would be me, everybody I follow on from YouTube, like everybody from Spawncast, Nintendo Prime, just a bunch of us just running one simple network based on gaming and these are the people I would put there because the people I would put there are not politically involved with anything. That's what threw G4 down the dumpster into the dumpster fire it was. Um, you know, you gotta go in there without a very, very political standpoint of view to keep the network going. Otherwise, you're gonna push away your viewers. And the problem is like they're very like um, a lot of fans are too politically oriented. So like you even remotely bring one thing politically up on your channel, you're pushing away a bunch of viewers because of that small political view you had. I don't like it very much. The having, the fact that people with the political view are involved in video gaming right now. Honestly, I really think they should have rethought about who is good for the channel and all that. G4 could have stayed alive if they would have picked the right people. But they were so busy. The people running the show were probably more political than they realized, and that's what ran G4 into the ground. I and a bunch of other gamers who don't care about politics, my nose itches, um, basically would have been able to run that show a lot better. We would have been able to enjoy it. It would have been like this enjoyable thing, and we wouldn't have dealt with somebody like Frost because I would have been like, I would have told my managers the moment I hear something political come out of somebody's mouth, have them hit the road because that's what's going to run this thing into the ground. Because that's where I'm at right now. If I'm to run anything, all right, let's just say, if I was to run a video game shop or something. I would not hire on people with political standpoint of views because that's just stupid, okay? Why let your views get in the way of something that you're doing as a hobby? All right, first of all and foremost, you don't do that. You don't let your hobby, I mean, you don't let your political viewpoint ruin your hobbies and then I'm only going to play this because this and I can't like I don't want to work hard to play a game. I want to enjoy games. The point of playing a game is to work hard and learn how to get better at it. No offense, but get good, bro. That's just simply phrased. Um, but I would run. I would seriously have ran G4 differently, and I don't know why I'm bringing this up. I want to see what this topic was about again. I don't know why I ended up on this topic. It directs back to the to what I was talking about. But I would have ran G4 a lot differently. I wouldn't have hired on somebody like Frost or somebody with a really high potential for political whatever. Because there's a lot of people that are involved in political viewpoints. Okay, there's some that I do watch I'm just like I see they're too politically involved, and it just really throws me for a loop because I looked at an interview from them from years ago and they were not that politically involved, and that's because they were in a different spot. They were involved in the video game community more than ever back then, and now they're more involved with politics, and that's why they are where they are right now. So you can see the difference between the two personalities of who they were. No offense to any but the person I'm talking about, but you can see how like they're separated from who they used to be totally. And I asked this question, and people hate when I asked what happened to them, and it's just what happened to them is political shit happened to them, you know. And that's why I think I would be possibly running if I was running G4 and let's just say one day I'm like, well, I have enough money, I can go and reinvent G4. I wouldn't call it G4, first of all. I would call it something completely different. But I would make this whole channel based upon video gamers with no political viewpoints, which would be Spawncast, Nintendo Prime, a couple people outside of that little sphere of gaming. And then I would put Linus Tech Tips on there also as a tech YouTuber. He would fill the tech side of things, and any other tech YouTuber that doesn't have a political viewpoint. This channel would then be ran perfectly because you're having people on it that don't want to talk about politics. They want to talk about their craft. They want to talk about their hobby. They're passionate about it. You gotta find people that are passionate about stuff instead of having people that are so involved in politics run the thing to the ground. And that's just how I would have done it. G4 would still be alive if somebody like me was running it. And that's just the cold, hard facts. But anybody who's involved in politics, they're not very big on video gaming. You'll notice that. They're not very big on video gaming. And that's something I'm truly saying in myself. I could have ran G4 a lot better than the people that run it. Okay? If I was to one day be like, okay, I'm going to build a channel. It's going to be about gaming and tech. That's who I would hire on. I would hire on people with non-political viewpoints. What I would put on there, on that application, or sit down and have an interview is I'd ask them questions about politics. And if they have an actual answer for the politics, so long, you're not getting hired here. Go fuck yourself. That's pretty simple and plain as to what it would be. I could run it a lot different. That's just how I know I could run a channel a lot better. You don't want political people involved in shit. Otherwise, it's going to get ran to the ground. That's why video game community, you keep the certain people out. Video game tech community, you keep certain people out. If I was to hire a bunch of people, and I'd ask them a bunch of political questions, and if they had really no opinion on politics or any of the questions I asked them, because I don't even pay attention to politics, I'll ask them something that doesn't even that isn't even political related and see if they know about it or not. I would probably ask them, well, how do you feel about the president? Or I would find a way to ask them something that would just show me that they're not fully involved in politics, because that's where that's where a lot of our problem lies today is we got too many people being involved in politics and looking at news and stuff they don't need to be looking at, and just caring about stuff, and just being really, really ridiculous about it. It seeps in everywhere, and that's the only way to keep it out is to get people with this non-biased opinion on things hired on at your company because they're not involved in politics. This is just something that, if G4 was to be like, okay, let's reinvent itself again and let's try to come back, but this time don't hire on people with a political viewpoint, you know? And, there's a lot of people out there that talk too much about politics, and when you break it down, you can really find out if a person is about politics because, like my thing is if somebody was to ask me about like something politically related, I would probably know jack shit about it because I don't care. I don't care. And that's the point is we're not supposed to care that much. But, you know, so I don't know. When people talk to me about something politically related, I just look at it. I'm like, what are you even talking about right now? And who is this person, or what is this thing you're talking about? Just some food for thought. When you're running a company, and if you don't want politics involved, make sure you definitely find out their political viewpoints. You can actually keep, and I'll be like, look, if something political comes out of anybody's mouth here, you're all are gone. You're all gone. That's plain and simple. You know, that's the way. That's the way I'm gonna even run my streams here. Is like if something political gets talked about on the channel, get out of here. Get out of here. We don't need that because that's not what this is about. But that's just my take on it. So let's get back to the gaming news. I don't know why I went off on a tangent like that, but hey, had to come up somewhere, and I think it's because I saw something in the last article I read. So Sega announces Genesis and Dreamcast themed earbuds and console replica case. All right. Yeah, I'm not afraid to get rid of people if they have a political view. That political bullshit is stupid, and I would not run a company with anybody with a political view. You know, it just goes to show you, Okay, so one thing I will say about myself is being a huge Zelda fan. Um, you'll notice I talk very little about Harry Potter because Harry Potter's just not interesting to me. You could take somebody like Miss Click, for example, who's streaming right now. Try talking to her about Harry Potter, and she don't know what you're talking about. The people who usually are like they like Harry Potter, that's usually the group of people that I've always felt like they're into politics, and it's more or less because of how the whole process of Harry Potter is ran. Um, Now I know enough about it. I just don't know. I just don't get into it like that because Harry Potter just isn't important to me. It's just not that important thing. Now I will talk to somebody about like the game or something like that and not be non-judgmental. But people that like Harry Potter are a different breed of people. They're very like, well, you have to like. No, you don't have to like Harry Potter, and I find people like that very rarely, but that happens sometimes where you run into people they want to make sure you like something, and then they'll gatekeep you if you don't, which is extremely weird in my opinion. But like with me and Zelda, I don't gate people from Zelda, but if you don't know what you're talking about, I'll still talk to you about it and maybe you'll listen. Because I talked to somebody about it yesterday and they sat there and listened to me. Of course, they were working with me. But it's one of those things that like I like talking about it so much that like it just really really shows that I have knowledge for the games that nobody else has. And still, you argue with me about the timeline and all that, and I'll sit there and I'll argue back that timeline I think is real. Now, as of recently, it's a little messed up, but I still think there's feasible truth, there's solid grounding to some of the timeline, you know, until they got to this recent point, then the timeline really got thrown off. And the reason people don't want the timeline exists because these fans that come in are the fans that don't know about it. They can't really talk about it, so they don't want the timeline to exist. That's why when it comes down to it, there are people that like, I like playing Zelda games, but I don't think the timeline's real. You don't think it's real, and an avid Zelda fan like me likes to think it's real because it makes sense. It just makes sense. But that's just me. Alright, iconic video game company Sega is tapping into gamers' nostalgia once more with the announcement of accessory based on a popular vintage console. While this upcoming release isn't exactly gaming related, it's still pretty cool to have something to remember two of the best video game consoles of all time, especially for kids who proudly grew up in the 80s and 90s. So, yeah, I remember having, I think it wasn't this version of the Sega Genesis, but I actually still own one of these behind me right now. So I haven't touched it because I don't want to like bring it out here, but like my 360 right here, I'm probably gonna be turning that thing on soon to play the Tomb Raider game that I just got. So I'm hoping it saves and everything. If not, I'm gonna be like, man. But though Sega is still going strong in the 2020s as a respective game developer and publisher, it hasn't made a new console since the platform. It hasn't made a new console platform since Dreamcast in 1998. Sega abandoned the console business after Dreamcast and ill-fated the ill-fated Sega Saturn couldn't quite set the world on fire like Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft's prospective offering today's. It's found a lot more success as a software developer working on a popular franchise such as Sonic the Hedgehog, but there are still more than a few gamers who have nostalgia for the company's glory days. Capitalizing on that particular nostalgia, Sega has announced a partnership with top Japanese audio equipment manufacturer Onkayo to produce a special line of Sega Genesis and Dreamcast themed versions of the latter CP TWS-01A wireless Bluetooth earbuds. The design was fully reminiscent of the legendary console, and they will be available around 109 starting December 22nd, 2023 at Onkayo Direct Online Store. And for those in Japan at Onkayo Direct Store, a Akihabara in Akihabara, Tokyo. So this is what they look like. So those are pretty cool. Not something I'd spend $100 for, but they're still pretty cool. Like I would take these. These are pretty nice. Although they should have put this controller look onto these because that would have been nice. But like, I understand what they're going with right here. So the Dreamcast is a very, very talked about console still to this day. That's why they made this one, and this one's pretty talked about too. Two of the most talked about consoles in Sega's history. So, and then you got shirts. So yeah, the thing is like, I'm surprised as that this whole thing they haven't revamped this in some way, or like, right now would be the time for Sega to be like, okay, let's release a new console, but they're not. They're releasing a couple new games. So the Sega Genesis takes to form the Mega Drive version of the console, which was its original name in Japan. Its left earbud has iconic 16-bit text on the front of the console, while the right earbud has the Japanese red and green MD logo. Meanwhile, the Dreamcast design is clean in its classic white color. Its earbud have the controller's D-pad on the left earbud and the face button on the right. See, that would have been nice to see. I don't know if they could have done it with the regular. Alright, let's see. It would have been cool to see the actual controller. Not enough buttons, of course. If they had one more button, I could see that. Actually, they can still get away with doing headsets. So I would have made this into a pair of headphones right here. cut in half. I would have put the 3 buttons in the start pad and the D-pad on one, like start button and 3 buttons on the right and D-pad on the left. But that's just how I would have done it. So other than that, the earbuds are also all right. So yeah, I finished that. Other than the earbuds, there are also other Sega-themed accessories for sale from Onkayo that fans might want to get as well. The manufacturer also has Genesis and Dreamcast themed wireless chargers around 31, acrylic stands around 8, and t-shirts around 28. All of it makes for a pretty solid collection that could sell out pretty fast considering the sentiments towards these platforms. In fact, the love is so strong that people are still paying on their old Sega consoles, playing on their old Sega consoles and still making new accessories for it. Yeah, people really love this stuff. Aside from this hardware, Sega has also been quite busy forming partnerships for its IPs. Back in September, Japanese fashion brand Super Groupies announced a new line of Persona 5 Royale clothing and accessories. Sega is the global publisher of Persona 5 Royale, an enhanced version of the original game with the ideas like these more collabs from the company may be in the pipeline. Those are pretty cool. I like that. I want to check some stuff real quick before we head into the next one. We're almost done for the day. All right. So I'm thinking about the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I'm gonna do something different because I don't think I'm doing anything at all on Christmas Day. So I'm probably gonna end up like either streaming here or something, or like doing a long stream like I did last holiday, Thanksgiving or whatever. Um, but I think I'm going to be streaming, and then as for New Year's Day, I don't know what New Year's Eve. I'm not sure what's going on yet, but um I'm probably gonna be. I think I'm off New Year's Day, so I don't know what I'm doing New Year's Eve yet. Though. I'm hoping I'm hoping to do something for the one of the holidays. But if not, I'll be sitting here streaming with you guys. So all right. All right. All right. Let's read this. Steam kicks off winter sale with discount of some 2023 best games. Right. So, Steam launched its winter sale, which gives players a wide range of the discounts on some of the year's most popular games. The sheer amount of discounts might seem overwhelming for some of this article. Some of this article will organize some of the best deals into a neat list. Steam's wintertime sales event runs until January 4th. Give me 1 second. I think I'm watching from there too. So, all right. All right. Steam sale event are some of the most anticipated dates for the year for PC gamers who like to stretch their dollars. Steam's next seasonal sale isn't until March when the spring sale launches, so users will probably want to check out these deals while they're available. The platform's winter sale is often one of the most generous events of the year, and this time seems this time around seems to be no different. Steam launched its winter sale on December 21st, offering discounts on virtually every genre, while each category of it has its own set of tempting offers worthy of list. This article will narrow the sale down to 15 of the best deals. For starters, fans should consider checking out Elden Ring, 40% off Star Wars Jedi Survivor, 50% off Cyberpunk 2077, Ultimate Edition, 43% off Hogwarts Legacy, 50% off Resident Evil 4, 50% off, Dead Space, 60% off, and Diablo 4, 40% off. But there's much more on offer, which some are included in the list the list below. These deals are available until January 4. What are some of the best deals offered in Steam's winter sale? So all of these right here are part of it. So if you have a chance, check out. This list includes some of the best games of 2023. So if readers are looking for a new game to enjoy, then they probably shouldn't pass this opportunity up. Fans of every genre have their fair share of options in this year's winter sale. If readers have certain games on their wish list that weren't mentioned above, then they should try searching for them on Steam, on on the Steam store, because there's a decent chance that they're on sale. 2023's Game of the Year Baldur's Gate 3 is also on sale with a 10% discount at $53.99. While the discount might seem slight, it's still a solid deal for games of its caliber. Baldur's Gate 3 offers ton of replayability, so fans will almost certainly get their money's worth. Two older games that remain as some of the most popular titles on Steam, Rainbow Six Siege and Grand Theft Auto 5, are also significantly discounted. Rainbow Six Siege is 60% off at $7.99, and Grand Theft Auto 5 63% off at $14.99. Grand Theft Auto Online mode just received its own winter time update. Any fan deciding to jump into the popular game for the first time can expect regular updates until Grand Theft Auto 6 release. They banned her. Ah, that's funny. Let's read this. Twitch has banned Morg Pie. So this is the girl that was like the one that started this whole controversy. So, all right, let's see. Twitch has recently banned the streamer Morg Pie due to unconfirmed reasons, and it's second time this happened in a single month. Morg Pie is the latest of many female streamers banned on Twitch. Wow. A trend has been very prevalent since the release of its platform and is often related to Twitch rules regarding nudity and sexuality suggestive content. Morg Pie is a 22-year-old streamer who started her career in the adult entertainment industry and became a Twitch streamer more recently. She became well known after starring in a controversial clip in which she appears topless while streaming on Twitch. This started a huge controversy about nudity on Twitch, and she was banned for 3 days afterwards due to sexually suggestive conduct. While Morgpie argued that she was not breaking the rules as she claimed to be fully clothed outside the camera, she was nevertheless punished for uh, viral streams. So she got herself banned for just being stupid and other stuff probably. You know, and this is good. This is good. This is what we need to see. If you go to Twitch, you should not be doing adult work. First of all, you are on other sites for that reason. You should not be going to Twitch and ruining Twitch for your purpose of being an adult on other adult platforms. That should be a given. If you are seen on any other adult platforms, you shouldn't be allowed on any of the other streaming platforms because you are bringing over what you do on other platforms. Okay, like an example, you know, I you know, and maybe I'm being biased about this thing, but I feel like if you're out there promoting sexuality, this is just sexuality, okay? If you're out there promoting sex, streaming sex, or some kind of sex work, you shouldn't be allowed to stream on Twitch because you're already making your money doing sex work. Okay, sex work specifically because you're bringing a bad reputation with you over to a platform that shouldn't allow that to begin with. That's where I'm breaking this down. Anybody that's actually working and stuff like that, and you're streaming, more power to you. I appreciate that. That's the kind of person I am. But if you're doing sex work on an opposite platform and you're coming over to Twitch, you're bringing that bad reputation over with you. So you act like this on Twitch, and you're like, well, I shouldn't have got banned. You got banned because you're doing the same exact thing and you're not separating the two. And that's part of the reason why, like, you know, if these people over on these OnlyFans sites, the Pornhub and stuff like that, when they make their way over to Twitch, they're possibly getting two sites confused because they do one thing to make money and then they come over here and try to make money and just like not separate the two from each other, and it causes a bit of a problem for Twitch itself. Like, I don't watch girls on Twitch streaming themselves naked. No offense. I can look at it all day long elsewhere if I wanted to. I don't have to go to Twitch. That was the purpose. That was what I found funny is I did not run to Twitch as soon as I heard this was taking place. And what's even more funny is she got herself banned for doing exactly what she's not supposed to be doing on Twitch. So she has herself to blame for this, not Twitch. Okay, at this point, she probably got herself eternally banned for what she's doing only on OnlyFans or something like that. And that's the purpose of why I find it funny when this happens, because it's like, okay, you're getting paid to have sex. First of all, you shouldn't get paid to have sex. Nobody should. Nobody should be paying for sexual favors. It's against God. And at the same time, I look at it this way: you're bringing that over to this platform, and then you're gonna get terminated from this platform. And I'm going to say this to anybody that's doing sex work. First of all, you shouldn't be doing sex work. That's just my opinion and my thoughts on it. But if that's what you're doing, that's on you, buddy. That's on you, girlfriend. Um, but I'm not going to sit there and promote that kind of stuff in my little territory, because that's not what I want here. I want this territory to be based on God and gaming. That's the purpose of what I want. The two big G's for me. So, all right. Now, Mordecai has been banned from Twitch once more. The punishment happened on December 20th, and it is still unknown what reason for it, or how much time the streamer will be prevented from streaming on a platform, considering her previous bans. Though it likely has to do with nudity and sexual insinuation. I guess that's how it's pronounced. At the moment, it's impossible to know whether Magpie ban will last or not, but it probably won't. Magpie has been banned from Twitch 5 times before, and now all of these occasions she was able to return within one day, except for the last one, which took 3 days. All right, so Yeah, this woman, she keeps digging her, she keeps putting herself in this spot, and that's why she's the one to blame. Female streamers also often receive bans from Twitch, which spark a lot of controversy. A few months ago, Amaranth was banned from Twitch for the seventh time. For example, the popular streamer was punished after she started twerking during one of her streams. It did not last long though, as she was cleared one day after. So the thing is you're picking up on this is good though. This is something I agree that Twitch does, and Twitch should really, really, you know, really, really start hounding down on this. Unfortunately, you have to like Twitch has to be really oriented to getting sexuality off of their platform. Bringing sexuality onto the platform is bad to begin with, and leaving people who do sexual content outside of Twitch, it's kind of a bad reputation for Twitch to have that on there. And I'm saying that as a guy who, like women, but I don't, there's just something like, I will say this. If I was to find, I've done it before. I don't out them and expose them. But if I see pictures of one of my favorite YouTubers saying they don't have sexual intercourse or something like that, I leave it go. And I leave it all play out eventually and see how they are and see what they're about and see, and it can happen to anybody. You just leave it all just play out. And then later on you could be like, well, I knew they were like that because, I saw it. But this just happens way too much in this community, and I'm still a small guy and I could grow over the course of like the next year or so and be big, but we'll see where life takes me. So um let's keep reading. Female streamer. Okay. The popular streamer was punished after she started. Okay, twerking. It did not last long though. She was cleared after one day after. Wow, it's still unknown. And people get mad at me for saying this all the time, but I'm saying this for a logical reason. I'm saying this because this isn't good. 13-year-old kids can get on here, and this is what brings some kids into the community. And not only that, um, women push guys to go into the porn community, and I will say that they make it so guys fall into that trap, you know, and it can ruin a good guy to becoming this like depraved animal of some sorts, and it's unfortunate because that's actually how it works. While it's still unknown whether Mordecai will return to stream on Twitch soon, it's pretty likely that the controversy regarding a sexual innuendo on the platform will continue. Twitch has banned addressing trends like hot tub streams for years, and it's likely that streamers may continue to test the line regarding what's permanent or not. Twitch inconsistencies on the subject do not help either, and the recent controversy regarding artistic nudity on the platform was a good example of how hard it is to tackle the subject in a satisfactory manner for all involved. So now my thing is like if Twitch keeps doing this, they're gonna head in a better direction than what they are. Like Twitch doesn't realize it, but right now, after what they did, they still have a chance to redeem themselves, and that could be what they're trying to do right now. It's just redeem themselves. Like, as I look at it this way, they kicked her off. They banned her from the platform for a few days. Who knows how long that ban is going to be, but like you look at it this way, they did it for a reason, and maybe they're just trying to redeem themselves back to where they were, so because you really don't need to, and here's another thing Twitch could definitely do is make it for only people that want to game on the platform. Make it for people that only want to game there, because I'll tell you what, having all this other nonsense on the platform of people streaming, talking about news related stuff, they should take it back to where it was at the beginning, where it was nothing but gaming, because that would really, really set an outrage in people and make sure people only do that. We got too many people talking politics out there again, and that's why I'm always stating how I feel, why I don't really talk about it here, because when you look at it, Twitch went from being this like gaming platform years ago, and people were yelling about people not gaming on it, to a full-fledged site that was almost a site about being nude, and people pushed that. And Twitch is on the verge of like redeeming itself again by doing these things where they're like kicking
kicking streamers off for, especially women. Women are getting into trouble the most here. Pick up on that. Pick up on that, gentlemen. Um, but I see it this way. I look at it this way. Like you should go to OnlyFans and stay on OnlyFans if you like that. I'm waiting for the day OnlyFans turns a new leaf too. And then we won't see it anywhere. We'll see it only on those adult sites, and then it's funny. But hey, all right. Anyway, I'm up here. I'll be back to what's today? Friday? Let's find out. All right. So tomorrow, I'm probably gonna throw a short up here. I'll probably throw a short up here maybe today, and then on my retro gaming channel, and then I'll have shorts up on my Bible channel. I'll definitely do a Bible reading tomorrow morning and upload that for you guys, and so that'll be up. And yeah, there you have it. I'll see you guys in the future. I'll see you Monday. Well, hang on. I think Sunday is Christmas Eve. Yeah, 23rd, 24th. So, all right. So, 23rd. Yeah, Sunday's Christmas Eve. So, um, Monday, I probably might do a long stream. I'm not sure yet, depending on how I feel. If anything, I'll do a Bible stream that day for you guys, and later on in the night do a video game stream. But all right, I'll see you guys in the future though. I'll figure it out.